what's one maybe like really aha moment or takeaway that you took from either the 5 day challenge or the in person summit?
Um,
One, two, three, four.
Hey, I want to welcome you to just another brief conversation. As you know, me and my producer, Arthur. Hey, Arthur, how's it going?
hey, Brent.
We just finished the 5 day launch a podcast challenge with David Shands. And then we were in Miami this time last week at the podcast summit. And we just wanted to kind of share some insights we gained. As you know, we're going through a rebranding, and it's always good to get some continuing education to see where the trends and things are headed. So with that being said, we're going to jump right in and talk about some things we learned from the podcast summit. I think the first thing for me was knowing who you talk to. In the 5 day challenge, David talked about creating the avatar. And so that avatar has a name, a personality, a situation. That way, when you're doing your podcast, you're talking to that same person every time. So it kind of takes out that guesswork of who is my target audience? Who am I speaking to? So Arthur, I think that was one of the big things for me. What about for you?
I mean, overall, the biggest thing for me, was just getting started and continuing to go, try to grow, always try to improve, were some of the key takeaways for me. And I would say, one of the other things that I learned now that we're thinking about a rebrand was, trying to introduce keywords into a new podcast name or title, and really trying to focus in on utilizing as many keywords as possible, and then keeping your title short and sweet. But overall from that challenge and the summit, I've learned how important search engine optimization or SEO is, and how important keywords are.
And when they were talking about just getting started, you're about to launch your podcast, Refresh Tech.
Mhm.
How can they find Refresh Tech, and what can they expect to get? Because I think her name was Tori Gordon, talked about what can people expect when they listen to your show. So as we do the rebranding, we want people to
Sure.
know that every time they listen to the name coming, what they can expect. So you have a Refresh Tech. What is
Sure.
it about? How can they follow you?
Yeah, so Refresh Tech is the name of my YouTube channel, and I'm actually naming my podcast the Refresh Tech Cast. And the focus of it is to talk about technology news, consumer technology news, and how it affects the average person. So a person that's working a blue collar job, working in any kind of business space overall, and how upcoming technology and technology that's out and about right now is relevant to them, and how it could help them with increasing their productivity, how it could help them with doing their job more effectively, and things like that. It's really focused on that space, and just continuing to learn more about how we can get the most out of our tech, even whether it's tech that you're considering to buy or it's tech that you already have.
Definitely. And I think one of the great things about the podcast was just the ability to network. If you saw the episode last week, you saw two young ladies that we had the pleasure of meeting and interviewing at the
Yeah.
podcast. And I think for me, I would say two of my favorite sessions was, well, maybe three. So David Shand's opening session,
Hmm.
and then David, Omari, and Omar, and then CJ. And I'm going to talk about CJ because a lot of people don't even know who CJ is, but he's responsible for Eric Thomas, the number one motivational speaker in the world, Toby, the rapper. He also helped David Shands, the Wall Street Chap. I can't even talk today. the Wall Street Trapper. So CJ gave a lot of nuggets about consistency, and I think that was one thing everybody mentioned at some point was consistency. What about for you? What was maybe one or two of your favorite sessions?
Um, Omar's individual session was really nice. Omar talked about the keys to how to set up your podcast and gear and things like that. But the other one that really hit home with me was, I forget his last name, but his name is Mario. He does a lot of, he focused at the podcast summit talking about branding and sponsorships and things like that, and really helping me realize how that space works and how to take your podcast to the next level and monetize it.
And I think one thing we learned that you were already doing and currently doing is affiliate programs. And for those of you that aren't familiar with affiliate programs, it's where you get a link. So maybe I have a book and I give you a link, and anytime anybody orders that book, you get a percentage of it. So with Arthur's Technology, if you have an affiliate program and would like to work with either myself or Arthur, you have something you would like him to review, or you have a product that you would like him to try out and maybe advertise for you, you can create an affiliate link. And then that way Arthur can talk about it, put it in his description, and when somebody buys, then Arthur gets a percentage of that. So reach out to either one of us at contact@brentkmiller.com. And Arthur, what's your email address, please?
You can reach me at Arthur, so that's ARTHUR at therefreshtech.com.
And that way, like I said, if you have any affiliate programs you would like to discuss with either one of us, you can do it there. Arthur, before we close out, what's one maybe like really aha moment or takeaway that you took from either the 5-day challenge or the in-person summit?
I'd say the main aha moment for me, and it kind of sums back around to what I was just talking about with Mario. It's really how easy it can be to communicate with brands and be able to find the people that you need to talk to be able to talk about monetization. And not even having a huge following, it shouldn't be a hindrance to you as to why you can't reach out to a brand and try to promote your content. The biggest thing is understanding, for me and for anyone, is really understanding who your direct audience is, who you're targeting, who it is that your audience is, and understanding from there what steps can you take to advertise to brands that this is a space that you want to come into. You know, I promote something or I have an audience that you want to talk to.
Yeah, I think that was really key. I think the biggest aha moment for me, which was that like mind-blowing thing, was when David Shands talked about they do no edits. Whatever they say, they left it in. So you'll see that I had a hard time saying Wall Street Trapper because you will hear it and how many times it took me to say it. But I thought that was key. And he said the reason is nobody's perfect, so your podcast shouldn't be perfect. It should display your personality. And so I stumbled over a word. We're going to leave it in and we're going to roll with it. So, man, Arthur, I can't thank you enough for rocking with me, man. Since the beginning of the year, we've been able to travel together for this. We've brainstormed. You're getting ready to launch your podcast, and I'm so excited about it. And, man, just 100 times thank you for all that you do. I greatly appreciate you.
Of course, always happy to help.
All right, man. Well, hey, have a great rest of your day. Go love on your family, and make sure to tune in to Name Coming Soon, but you know where to find us.
Yep.
All right, we'll talk to you.
All right.